When it comes to Disney animated musicals, very, very few have as many songs or as memorable songs as the 1951 classic Alice in Wonderland. But did you ever wonder why the Cheshire Cat never truly had his own distinct song? Yes, he sang Twas Brillig.
Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did the gyre and the gimble in the wave.
Which is about the Jabberwocky, a character that was cut out of the film. So I guess it's appropriate that we're going to talk about a song that was cut from the Cheshire Cat himself. And it's this little ditty called I'm Odd.
My head begins to jingle most every time I nod, 'cause obviously, quite obviously, I'm odd. Each Christmas I go fishing to catch a Christmas cod, 'cause obviously, quite obviously, I'm odd.
Well, I'm really quite frustrated, and it's really not your fault. But obviously, yes, obviously, it's hilarious by default, okay? I thought it was awesome.
When I was just a kitten, they said I'd be a gem. But now that I'm a Cheshire Cat, it's odd how odd I am. I own a feather pillow, but I slumber on the sod. 'Cause obviously, quite obviously, I'm odd.
I liked it. If they do a Broadway version of Alice in Wonderland, which, God, that would be a trip. They should
Literally.
Right, exactly. They should totally include it like they have with others of our deleted Disney song features, you know?
If they were to go back and do like a special edition a la Human Again and Beauty and the Beast, or If I Never Knew You from Pocahontas, or the dreaded Morning Report from The Lion King.
They can work Morning Report in. Listen, I wasn't even here for that episode, and it's great in concept, but Yoda's song sucked though. Anyway.
I will say, I guess it would be a little bit more difficult to fit in because he does sing part of the Jabberwock poem. I wouldn't want to see that replaced because it does give the Cheshire Cat kind of a little bit more of an eerie presence. The thing that really strikes me about this song is the lyrics are very clever. The melody screams Alice in Wonderland, but yet I can see it in some sort of demented Winnie the Pooh dream sequence akin to Heffalumps and Oozles.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt that Heffalumps and Weasels, good call.
My head begins to jingle most every time I nod, 'cause obviously, quite obviously, I'm odd.
It doesn't hurt that it's kind of in Pooh's voice too.
Sterling Holloway, who voiced the original Winnie the Pooh, also voiced the Cheshire Cat. And the rendition that was of I'm Odd, that was released on the DVD, was voiced by Jim Cummings, who took over for the role of Winnie the Pooh. So
I really feel good about handing you the ball for that one. You're welcome.
All I can say is there's a lot of poo in this song, and that doesn't mean that it's shit.
Just because there's a lot of poo, this song is shit. And if you thought so, your thoughts should be flushed down the toilet. That's my attitude.
Because of the melody and because of the lyrical rhyming that's there, it's one of those songs I think is very easy, as you kind of demonstrate at the beginning of this episode, to just kind of fill in your own lyrics in your head. I'm sitting here listening to this, and all of a sudden it just pops in my head. My stomach seems to jingle and getting very broad, because obviously, ingloriously, Dad bod. I mean, it's...
What the hell?
It just
well, and you know, something else I like there too that's as a device there musically, right? It's obviously following a good musical meter and rhyme, and then that meter gets broken during the lyric of I'm odd or I'm weird, depending on where you are in the song. Even the musical sheet music, so to speak, would be odd in that place with the word odd. It's some clever, aha, you know. For those who didn't think the default could catch that sort of thing, look out.
So did you think that this song fits within the style of Alice in Wonderland's music?
Hell yes. It's not close. Listen, I'm still working on why they cut it out. I'm not buying that there was too much music for the Cheshire Cat, because let's stop right there. Other than Alice and maybe the White Rabbit or the Mad Hatter, the Cheshire Cat is a prominent ass character in the Alice in Wonderland story.
It's funny, and this is a bit of a deviation, but I've heard this debate many times. I'm actually kind of curious about your take on it. Is the Cheshire Cat a villain in the original Alice in Wonderland?
I would say no. He works in mysterious ways. You know what I'm saying? That he's got that kind of a PR firm. When it goes well, it's the Cheshire Cat's will. When it doesn't, he works in mysterious ways. Because let's be honest, if the Cheshire Cat really wanted to take anyone out, Alice would have been done. Okay? You've seen the skill set he has in terms of powers and magical what have yous. So, no, I'm not convinced he's a villain. I mean, he's not like the Walrus and the Carpenter tearing into the clams, or he's certainly not the Queen of Hearts. Not for nothing.
I don't think he's a villain, but he definitely represents chaos. All the characters in Alice in Wonderland are chaotic to one degree or another, but the Cheshire Cat has the power to really follow through on those crazy, dare I say it, odd convictions. And he takes out the freaking Queen without ever having any suspicions upon himself. But no, I fully agree. I do like this song. I don't necessarily think it's a great loss for it not being in the film, because it already has so many great pieces of instrumentation and great songs in it. And if I were to choose personally between Twas Brillig versus I'm Odd, I think Twas Brillig, just probably due to the fact that it adds to the eeriness factor of the Cheshire Cat character, but also because it has direct implications towards the novel. I'm a little bit more partial to it, but I would not have been opposed if it was in it somewhere else. I am trepidatious about them going back and adding it in because it's been since 1951. It's been nearly 60, 70 years since then. I do not have faith in current Disney to go back and do that well, where they can barely handle it with Morning Report and The Lion King, and that is far, far newer.
#burn. Second, in this instance, I would grant they have a lot more working for them, though. This is naturally a far better song, and not to get too caught up in the example. Then for example, Morning Report, or what was the one that they it wasn't called Poor Me. What the hell was it called? Jafar.
Why Me?
Yeah, Why Me? That's a garbage ass fit too, right? But the Pocahontas deleted song was great. Would have been easy to put it back in there, mostly because it was already in there. Okay, I mean, that's an unfair advantage too. So that's the other extreme. There's a lot less to get wrong. I hear where you're going, especially you as the Disney file on the panel here, the panel of two.
I will grant this to you. If they were to ever go back and add a song to one of the older films, this is probably the easiest one to do so with, and I'll tell you why. Because by its own plot structure, Alice in Wonderland is a very episodic movie. It wouldn't be very difficult to just drop a scene in there, and it's not really going to affect anything other than the pacing. And if they're smart about it, I'm sure they can probably add it back in without losing anything.
Not easy either. I will certainly submit that from your point of view. Something as mundane as playing guard soldiers painting roses red has a pretty damn catchy song. We're painting the roses red. We're painting the roses red. Not blue, not green, not even marine. We're painting the roses red. It's been decades since I've seen this movie, and it's still in there.
I will gush for a moment that sequence, especially leading into the card march. The March of the Cards, pure instrumentation. That sequence is mesmerizing, and it's pure experience. It is just a wonder to look at, and probably the strongest sequence, non-narrative sequence in that film.